was called Shadow of the Galilean. And it takes place in the same historical context of when Jesus was still alive, but from the perspective of one of the Jewish merchants. And it has a really good way of showing how all of the different things that Jesus was doing throughout his ministry, how that was really shaping and affecting the political climate in the area, as well as gave us a good way to recognize the historical aspect of who Jesus was outside of how we view him in, with that being the main portion of our faith.
One of the first things we did during the month of March was attend a Teens Encounter Christ weekend. So Teens Encounter Christ is a weekend retreat designed for teenagers in order to help them to explore their faith in kind of a really intense way. And they have 3 themes that function day by day. The first theme is death. So how do we die to ourselves? And how did Christ die to us? What was the significance of that? The second day is Rise Day. So what does it mean to be forgiven by God? How do we live as Christians today? And then the last day is Go Day. So we have been called as Christians. What do we do with it now? Where are we going to use our gifts in the community around us? I thought this was a very good way to start off Witness Month because it allowed us to really get into why are we Christian? What kind of beliefs do we have? What kind of things should the church be doing and should we be doing as members of the church to make Christ known in the world around us through not just what we say, but what we do as well. I got a lot out of hearing from the teenagers that were at my table and also from one of our peers named Andrew, who we met here in the Toledo community. They astounded me with their insights, and it was very helpful to be able to discuss some difficult topics with this group of people.
Hello. This month of March, our theme was witness, and I sort of witnessed the things happening in many different ways. For my service site, it's an interesting situation. I help with a confirmation class that is with 3 different local congregations, Augsburg, Bethany Lutheran, and Reformation. And I've always thought that it's really awesome that these 3 congregations thought of working together collectively to teach confirmation to their students, because otherwise there would be only a handful of 6th through 8th grade approximately young people, and for confirmation it's better to have a group of youth learning together than just a handful.
And the chosen film for Witness, which is our March's theme, was Jesus Christ Superstar. And for anybody who's seen Jesus Christ Superstar knows that it is just enveloped in the most incredible 1970s flavor. Like, it's just, I haven't lived in the 70s, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it was like because of Jesus Christ Superstar. So we watched that film. Some of us really loved the 70s tasticness, and some of us weren't so much into it. The next day, we were at Teens Encounter Christ, which is a teen weekend, and there's a lot of really fun kind of spiritual growth that happens there, as well as some good old-fashioned game playing. So we were playing apples to apples, and Crystal had the prompt card, which was spiritual. And wouldn't you know it, one of my cards was the 1970s. So I put that down, and it won because the 1970s was just such a spiritual experience for us, as we had learned through watching Jesus Christ Superstar.
So for the Toledo site of Alt-Year, our social justice focus is human trafficking, and we got the chance to plug in to the Human Trafficking Coalition of Lucas County and specifically talk about how human trafficking is present in the Toledo area and how it affects the residents and spirals out from there, and really what we can do to combat that, and how we as an organization can really take a hands-on approach rather than just sitting there and raising awareness or funds, but actually getting out and doing things to help.
So one of the events that we got to go to in March was an Easter Vigil service hosted at Trinity Episcopal, which is right in downtown Toledo. And it was a really cool service because we as Lutherans got to witness how Episcopalians do their services. And we got to watch them do a Taizé service for the first time. And I thought they did a really good job. We got to start in their fellowship hall, and they gave out candles, and we got to light them and then walk around their sanctuary, and then go back into their chapel, which is a really more intimate space than their sanctuary, which is huge. And we spent most of our time in the chapel doing Taizé and listening to their really amazing choir. And then we got to go outside of the church, and then around the church, and then to the front, where there was kind of a symbolic knocking on the church doors and then being let in, and then finishing up the service in the sanctuary, which was really, really beautiful. And
won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I've ever had, redemption song, all I've ever had, redemption song.
I'm really happy with how far I feel like I've come in my spiritual growth throughout the alt year. It's been a really great opportunity for me to be able to look at other religious practices. So we've gotten to go to Catholic Mass quite a few times. We've gotten to go to Trinity Episcopal, which is not super different from Lutheran ways of worshiping. And then we've also gotten to sit in at a couple of different Muslim worship areas, which has been
I think for a lot of us, it's really kind of starting to sink in that we only have 2 months left together, and all of the different things that we want to get done, and all the things that throughout the year we said, oh yeah, we should do this, we should do this, you know, we should meet this person, have Bible study with so and so. We're starting to realize we don't have a lot of time left to get all that done.
As our year of service creeps to a close, it's been interesting to look back at all the different experiences that we've had in alt year. Whether it's meeting with different people to lead Bible study, whether it's ourselves going into a place and leading Bible study, whether it's leading worship, whether it's visiting representatives, whether it is doing service, whether it is doing presentations, whether it is going to Zumba class, whether it is doing yoga together, whether it is playing Dungeons and Dragons. There's so many different things that I wouldn't have even expected just looking inside the alt year pamphlet.
I'm living with the fact that while our dynamic is beginning to change, this is not the beginning of the end. We will still find nurturing ways for us to be connected with one another.
So we got to spend some time in DC, in Washington, DC, at the end of March, and it was really great to get to spend some quality time with my alt cohort mates and make dinner together and really just spend time together and talk, and it was good. It was really nice.
But I've really come to appreciate the community through all the things we've been able to do through alt. Our service, being able to talk to pastors, I've been able to connect with a worshiping community in the area and play music with them. It's going to be really difficult to leave it all behind, and I'm very thankful that alt year has allowed me to become a part of a community that I never would have come to on my own.